Hey, welcome back to another Tattoo Artist Reacts video. So today we're going to be looking at another one of Daniel Silva's tattoos. I've not watched it yet. I'm assuming he's going to be using stipple method. It's what he's known for worldwide. It's absolutely brilliant how he does things. So we're going to watch the video, talk through what he's doing, and remember, I say it in every one of these React videos, you can learn so much by watching world-class artists and see what are they doing with their hands, what order are they doing things. Try their methods. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be suited to your style, but you can always learn from other people. The moment that you reach a point in your career where you think, I know it all, I don't need to watch others, I don't need to continue my learning, is the day that you stop progressing. Nobody in this industry or in any industry is that good that they can't get better. So always keep that attitude. Make sure that you're wanting to progress. So we'll crack straight on with video and have a little talk through what he's doing and why. So you can see straight away he's put stencil on, really bold stencil. He's doing what he's doing. He's not riding tube at any point. Look, he's keeping a consistent depth, and he's just getting the basic line work of the video done. You can see there were no stencil at the bottom there, just doing it off eye, looking at the reference as he's going, instantly getting the shading in, back and forth, brush motion, look. And you can see he's moving at different speeds. So as he were doing the line, they were moving a little bit slower. Think back to the stipple lessons, the faster your hand goes, the further them dots are away, the lighter it looks. So watch how he's constantly, there he were doing, it were like a mixture between a brush and also a whip, wasn't it? Slowing it down to define that line, whipping and brushing back and forth, going over the areas that it wants to get darker. You can see he's not overly stretching the skin. Look at his left hand. It's basically just holding the skin in place more than anything. But one of the things that I love that Daniel does is look how the movement of his hand is always in the direction of the shading. Alright, so he's keeping that flow. If you watch as he's doing, if you look at the leaves, look, the petals, sorry, above what he's doing now, you can almost see the lines, but all going in the direction of the shading. So you can see he's just building it up, each area. I personally absolutely love his style of tattooing. But see there, he's just whipping. It almost looks like a brush shade, but if we look close, as it's the centre of the leaf, it were going at full depth and then it were whipping out as we were doing it. Line work like this takes years and years of practice. Look how slow, controlled movements are. Super fine needle, building those thicker lines up, look. Just with the single or type 3. Looks more like a single, but he's not swapping to a thicker needle, he's just double lining it up and literally blocking in the gap in between. So you'll notice he's predominantly pulling lines, but there his brush is pushing. He's actually doing the same line a couple of times, look, rather than just trying to hit it in one pass. Because he's barely touching skin, it allows for that almost like a sketch feel, as if you were doing it with a pencil. But I love how precise. You can see there he's doubling up to make that line on the S slightly thicker. Years and years and years of practice, and the only way to develop this sort of level is by doing the drills that are in those lessons. If you try doing it just on designs like this, it's not going to emphasize every mistake that you make. This is why I'd say drill, drill, drill. So you can see its skin bouncing there slightly. Just because of a close-up on a video, he probably wouldn't even see that with his like naked eye. Camera sometimes picks things up that you don't see in person. But you can see now he actually did his swap to a thicker needle here. I'm assuming that's because he knows that there's quite a lot of sections within this that have got bolder lines. So rather than doing them all with the small needle, use right tool for job, which is done. He's just swapping as he needs to and doing all the areas that are in that small section that need doing with that liner all now in this one go. So now he's pushing the lines because he's going from the centre out. So for all those here that aren't like, why are we pushing lines or why are we pulling? You need to be able to do both. This is a perfect example, look, because now he's pulling it towards him. He's going sideways, he's not going to be constantly moving his body around. He's just using from years and years of practice. He knows that he can do it in any direction. Look at this little piece now. It's an half circle. We've done full lessons just on mastering that one little section. That's just a little curved line. Watch how he's entering the skin and then leaves the skin. He's not just prodding it in and out. He's going in the skin and out of the skin in a controlled manner. There, look, he's using it more like a pencil rather than just doing it in one pass. He's just sketching it in almost. Very smooth and fluid, his movements. That's one of the things that I admired about what he's done. See there, he started and then went back and then did it again. That's a common technique, is if when you start a line, the ink's not travelling down the needle quite as much as you want, and you can see it's just almost cutting the skin rather than pushing ink in there. Go back a little bit, wait for that pull to start flowing down your needle and then continue. He's just done the exact same again there, look. Obviously we don't know what speed he's running his machines at. However, he's going to have it set to his hand movement, so he's constantly swapping between moving really fast on some of the lines to more slow and controlled. And if you look at the line works that he's moving slower on, it's because they are more solid. So he's wanting that needle to penetrate the skin obviously a lot more in that area to make the line solid. But look how small the details are. So once he's got all line work done, now he's coming in and blocking in all the areas that need shading. Look at the direction that he's going, side to side there. And as he's going round the outer look, it just looks like scribbles, but it's not. He's moving in the direction. If you look, he's arching his strokes. So rather than just going straight, he's curving round with the flow of the design. This makes a massive difference to the end result. And I personally think, so there he's cross-hatching, look. So you know that he's going to build that bit up a little bit more. And that's why he's cross-hatching. Might just be because the movement of where he's sat, because now look, he's following the design. So that previous bit, it must have just been uncomfortable, so he's building it up in layers and cross-hatching as he goes. But look how he's using the wrist as a pivot point to follow the design. Like I said, I personally think that there's not many people in the world that do this style of tattooing as good as Daniel Silva in this video. Just notice he's not just putting the needle in and expecting it to instantly be right darkness or the right contrast. He builds it up over time. I just want to quickly go back a little bit. I'm going to pause on a section in a second. Bearing in mind, this is an amazing piece. is a world-class artist. It's on skin, it's not a mat. But if we look, the lines, if we're trying to find fault, they're not perfect thickness. You can see it bobbles in and out in certain areas. The lines that are parallel with each other. Nothing is remember, we're doing this as a human being. We can't use a ruler, or we can't use a compass to create a circle. They are done by hand. So when it's zoomed in like this, you can see all the small faults. But as just a customer or as a person admiring the tattoo as a whole, you don't see any of this, do you? And this is why I say when we're doing the drills, you're just doing a straight line. It shows every mistake, like this does as we've paused it and we're looking at all them individual lines. We're noticing that it's not actually perfect. However, press play again. When you're looking at it as a whole piece, look, wow. You're not looking at all them small imperfections, so your eyes overlook it. So that is why it is so important to do those drills. So I love this tattoo. I think it's absolutely amazing. I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned a bit of something from it, and how you can look at other people and how they do things, analyze it, break it down, and see if you can add that and improve your game. But I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, help the channel. Make sure you've hit that subscribe button. Hit the little notification bell, and then every time I upload, you get a little pop-up so you know that I've uploaded new content. It's going to be on a regular basis. There's tons of videos within the channel teaching and guides to be able to do tattoos like this. So make sure you're subscribed. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.